Hiya! Hello to all my growing toadstools. Welcome back to my corner of the lawn. I hope you're staying warm and you have some shade. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm a fungus and I like to make things. Guys, if I'm being honest here, I'm a little sad that October is over. If you're wondering, yes, I am one of those cringe people obsessed with Halloween and horror.
I may be cringe, but you're mean. And that's worse.
That's basically all there is to me. Behind me may paint a different picture, but my desk setup says otherwise. The holiday season is now upon us, but that doesn't mean that I can't enjoy spooky things. So to get my fill of the creepy and unnatural, I'll be doing redraws of panels from Junji stories. For this video, I chose Slug Girl and Whispering Woman. Junji is a Japanese horror manga artist. His best known stories are Uzumaki and Tomi. Uzumaki's plot revolves around spirals, and as silly as that sounds, the story is phenomenal. You know that one famous image of the girl with a spiral in her skull? Yeah, that one. This picture actually comes from Uzumaki. Already knowing that I love scary shit, you could probably guess that I'm a huge fan of Junji work. I own several of his books. My sister made me a framed collage of his panels for my birthday this past year. I have shirts with his art on them. This is just my proof because I couldn't find my shirt. So I also own his coloring book, I made a bookmark in his art style, and I really want a tattoo sleeve of some of the manga panels. I have an obsession with black and white art. I only have black and white tattoos, so his art would be perfect to put on my body for a sleeve. I'll shut up because I'm being a huge nerd right now, and I could talk about this for hours. So let's instead get into my redraw. A quick side note, while I draw, I will be reading the fandom wiki plot description synopsis of each story. First up, Ri notices her usually talkative friend Yuko begins to have difficulty talking and has become very quiet. When she stops showing up at school, Ri visits her house and no one answers the doorbell, so she decides to go around the back of the house and finds that Yuko's parents frantically squishing and throwing salt at the slugs that are everywhere. Yuko's mother leads Ri to Yuko's room where she's sitting in bed with a face mask on. Yuko's mother mentions that the doctor only found Yuko's mental health to be weak. When she asks to look into Yuko's mouth, Yuko refuses. Ri leaves Yuko's home and remembers that the only time she's seen her friends so scared, it was in elementary school when some of her friends had come over to play at her house, and one of them tried to scare her with one of the slugs from her backyard, one of Yuko's greatest fears. The next day, Ri returns to find Yuko's mother panicked and sees that Yuko's tongue has turned into a slug. Ri runs away and never returns to that house. She talks about hearing the lengths Yuko and her parents went through to get rid of it. They tried cutting off her tongue, but it grew back. Filling her mouth up with only salt made her spit it out. Unable to eat, Yuko became very sick, and her parents decide to bury Yuko in a bathtub of salt. She does not resurface, and her parents reach in to grab her, but they only grab her clothes. Yuko seemingly vanished. They find her head in the tub, her body shrunk to a tiny size because of the salt. However, the slug emerges from Yuko's mouth, still alive, and crawls away. Her head still attached, almost like a snail shell. Surprisingly, Yuko remains alive and was seen to open her eyes, giving a sad look. Mayumi, the daughter of a wealthy family, suffers from a mental illness whereby she must be given specific instructions at all times as what to do or say. Otherwise, she'll be crippled by indecision and unable to do anything for herself. If she's not given instructions, she will constantly ask what she should do, Her father has hired several maids to look after her, but they always resign, as they cannot deal with Mayumi's incessant questioning. He advertised for a new carer for Mayumi, and a woman named Mitsu Uchida responds. Mayumi's father explains her condition, which began after the death of Mayumi's mother when she was a young child. Mayumi cries out, and Mitsu goes to her aid. She proves to be very patient with Mayumi and enthusiastic about the job. Mayumi's condition begins to show signs of improving, and her father becomes cautiously optimistic. Mitsu lasts at the job much longer than anyone else. She and Mayumi are inseparable and remain together all day, communicating in their own secret language of whispers and hand signals. However, Mitsu's health begins to suffer and she becomes very ill. Mitsu's father tries to tell her to take the day off, but Mitsu refuses. She loves working with Mayumi because it allows her to live again as her past self. Mayumi's father wonders about this and also notices that Mitsu's face is bruised. Mitsu denies this. Mayumi continues to improve. Her father begins to believe that Mitsu is a guardian angel to her. Not only is Mayumi beginning to recover, but Mitsu's guidance saved Mayumi from walking down a road where there was a fatal accident just moments later. Mayumi's father has an employee run a background check on Mitsu, which reveals that Mitsu lives with a violent, abusive boyfriend named Aga. Mayumi's father worries that Aga may target Mayumi and begins plotting to separate Mitsu from Aga. Meanwhile, Mayumi is beginning to become concerned about her recovery and what it will mean for Mitsu's job. Mitsu whispers another instruction to her. Two weeks later, Mitsu is found violently murdered. Aga is the only suspect. Mayumi's father rushes to find his daughter, but Mayumi seems to believe that Mitsu is still with her. She continues to take instructions from Mitsu, and sometimes Mitsu's whispering can be heard very quietly. Mayumi's father believes that Mitsu is appearing in spirit to guide his daughter. He still wonders what Mitsu meant by wanting to return to her past self through Mayumi. Outside, he finds Mayumi stabbing the ground with a knife, asking Mitsu if she's doing it right. A few days later, Mayumi comes home soaked in blood and holding a knife. She tells her horrified father that the blood is Aga's and that she killed him like Mitsu taught her. Mitsu's whispering is heard on the air again. Those were the synopses of Slug Girl and Whispering Woman. I hope you enjoyed both of them. I know it wasn't the full story, but hopefully you're more intrigued now enough to go look it up online or go buy a book yourself. Anyway, just another thing that I like and I wanted to draw. Now we are nearing the end of the video and the end of both drawings. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment if you are interested in any of the stuff that I've posted so far, and ring that bell to get notifications for when I post a video. That's all for me today. I need to go battle a fresh antifungal spray. Hopefully I don't lose. Bye!